Southern boy, certified.
I don't really understand, oh, why they do this to me, oh. Saturday Roman, don't say nothing at all. Yeah. 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 I'm hearing whispers on the street about some things that I really can't believe. People talking, spreading lies over me. I don't know why they coming for me. They say I did things that I never done. No. They say that I'm guilty, but I'm not the one. No, no, no.
Liar, liar, liar. Pants on fire. I heard rumors around town. People talking and spreading lies. Can't trust nobody who don't have a purpose.
Life Builders Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to making a difference in the lives of youth and adults from all socio-economic backgrounds. We are dedicated to improving the mindset, educational attainment, and whole body wellness for all clients, in addition to creating opportunities for success. My purpose is my passion, and my passion is my purpose.
Just love, just love. Just love, just love.
Do you rap? Do you sing? Are you in a band? Do you just need a place with top-of-the-line equipment to prove that you're the best at what you do? Do you like to party with beautiful women, make good music, and have safe fun? If so, then get off the couch, stop procrastinating, watching television, letting time pass you by, telling yourself, I'll go to the studio next week, next month. No, do it right now. Call and book a session and change your life. Show people why you're the best at what you do, why you deserve to be getting awards, and why you deserve the crown.
Just Angel.
We having a line dancing retro. Come on out tonight. Put on your cowboy hats and boots and let it shine bright. We having line dance at Dickies. Dance till your heart's content. We having a Dickies dance party. You'll be glad you went. Step, step, turn it all the way around. Clap it, clap it, clap it, clap it. Take it down to the
Dickies delectables, come in and get right. Delicious hot meals that feed your appetite. Barbecue, chicken, pulled pork, and brisket. Make time to come eat and let Dickies barbecue fix it. When the hunger pains hitting your tummy starts to rumble and growl, come on out, bring the family, bring your friends, join the crowd.
Hey. Welcome back again to another Talon at 10. What's going on, y'all? Oh, y'all ain't got no response? Okay. Well, you know me. Oh, there they go.
Here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, friend. How are you?
Yeah, I'm excellent at yourself.
I'm good. I'm
Oh,
good.
you threw your ball cap on backwards.
Oh, because it's the beginning of the year, so I had to make sure that they didn't forget, who I am.
Okay. That's right.
Yes. I have my handy dandy hat that represents me
Oh yeah.
here in the Che room doing
Yeah,
Che things.
that's right.
Happy New Year's, friend. How are you?
Oh man, I'm excellent at yourself.
Man, lots to talk about. Lots going on in the world, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah. There's a
yeah,
lot going on in the world. Lots
I'm
to talk
good
about.
overall.
What you got on the agenda first?
Um, where shall we start? Maybe we should start with all of the governing that's going on our behalf with the government. Maybe we do that.
Okay.
Um, so I really have been interested in wanting to see how people are feeling about what's going on, you know, nationally, internationally. What's your thoughts about starting off 2026 in the state of which American citizens and those who live here, residents of America? What's your thoughts on the climate of what's going on right now?
Well, I'm more like don't be concerned like with more of the day-to-day stuff, but just with the long-term effect of today's decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know dang, what it girlfriends I used to date in the past used to always say, oh no, I don't want to start this relationship like this because how we started is how it's gonna end.
Mm.
So based on how the USA started, I already know how it's gonna end.
So you
So
ain't surprised. You like
never
they
surprised.
on the same type of energy they've been on.
Yeah, never
So let's not
surprised.
act like it's new.
Yeah, never surprised because you know, like the women I dated in the past, that used to happen, how we would start a relationship is basically how the relationship would end. So based on my personal experiences and just watching the world go round and how things work, I really believe that's how things work. You can only input output. You can only get out of something whatever you put into it. So if you put all these things into it and just titled it, manifest destiny,
Mhm.
other people will be allowed to have their manifest destiny also. You know, the United States is still a young country. There's been countries that's been ruling for centuries. We only got 200 years in, so we're still young, and we just gonna go through things that other civilizations went through.
Yeah, the thing is are we gonna come out on the other side, What coming out on the other side looks
Yeah,
like.
well, yeah. So it's just to me, it's just about the story, right?
Yeah.
Because we come out on the other side whether we're victorious or not. It's
Shit.
just it's
What
just
about
what
that this time?
it's just what is the story gonna be.
if we here to survive. I don't think people understand too, though,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's like, oh, it'll be what it's going to be in America, especially as American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
We really be feeling like nobody's bigger than us, nobody's more powerful than us. You know, we want to go around, be a bully. Ain't nobody there to stop us. And I think my major concern is we in a different day and time.
Yeah.
And the
Everybody,
same shit that they
everybody.
was going for is they not we the as humans, as humanity has gotten older and has seen so many of the battles just in our immediate families or lineage lifetimes. We know that war can take out a whole race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A whole culture, right? And so for me, I don't think that a lot of people are paying attention to World War III is going to be a whole different type of ball game. That's not. Because we're talking about dealing with completely different types of explosions. You know, you know me, I stay very actively engaged in what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a historian buff, as well as someone who is constantly trying to stay on top of like what's going on so I can make sure that I'm on point. On top of that, being clairvoyant has really been a benefit for me in my life because I get these feelings and I get these premonitions and I get this this intuitiveness that tells me how to move. And I will say it's never been wrong. The information's never been wrong. And you knowing me for some time now, for sure, on an intimate level, you've seen like before they even talking about what's coming down the pipelines or what's going on, I'm on it because I got more time than most do to go down the rabbit holes and figure out, you know, what's going on from this entity to that entity versus I realize that people are every day, especially where we are now, every day they're just trying to figure out how to make it, you know? And so we're at a space right now where we're trying to balance our world of trying to figure out how to survive and then trying to figure out what living looks like, right?
Yeah.
And should something break out like a World War III, it's like you were saying how young we are as a country. We're a little older than 200 years, but the fact of the matter is that we are the babies. And so being the baby in my family and being big little sister, and my siblings hate me for it, but like I tell them, then y'all do the work. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all get out there and do what y'all need to do so I don't have to be in the position where, you know, getting things done as a family is my priority. It should be our priority anyways, right?
Yeah.
What's the same thing like when we're starting to think about who we are as a society, as Americans, if we want to get things done, we have to be stepping up at this point and being like, nah, America, like let's sit down. Let's do some rethinking, some rewiring, some, you know, like, because the hard thing to me is that we are not paying attention to the fact that things are going to get harder for us. Things are going to get more difficult for us. And because of the way technology works now, the same type of war that we would fight back in the day is not the type of war that we're going to fight in 2026. You get what I mean? And going after people like Iran, Iran is one of the older brothers. You know what I mean? Outside of the continent, Iran is one of the older brothers. And so for us to be going in Iran or threatening Iran and we keep coming for Iran, we've given them too many times to be like, yes, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like before, I mean, at a certain time, you know, it's gonna be like that to the little brother, like, sit your ass down somewhere. Ain't nobody, you know, you can swing all you want. But then it's gonna come a time when they start swinging back. And I think, are we prepared for that? Because America has been so good at going around for hundreds of years on just bullying people off their land, you know, just going into societies and saying, you know, crazy shit and doing crazy shit. And it's no better than what we're talking about right now. Like, but they have to know that people are not going to allow us to get away with the things that we've been getting away with. It's like Denmark. So they're trying to go after Greenland. And so just last night, like 6 to 8 different European leaders got on and was like, no, America. And that includes the UK, London, France, you know, all the major, Spain, you know, all the major players over there. They're like, absolutely not. And the thing that was disheartening to me wasn't that they were like sticking up for Denmark. It was the words that they said. They were like, Denmark, pretty much Trump, we will defend, we will band together to check y'all if you keep coming for Denmark. Denmark and only Denmark has the right to be able to govern and say what's in the best interest of Denmark.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm like, not to speak on all of the non-people of color, but I'd be like, that's what we as people of color is talking about. So you would say, Trump, mind your own business. Denmark is responsible for Denmark's decisions. You don't need to put your nose in their business. But then y'all would allow for then Venezuela's president to just be hijacked and kidnapped and brought over to the States, where we now tell him that we are the ones who are going to dictate how they are dealing with their community, how they are dealing with their societies. That shit's crazy. And we don't even understand how this has completely changed the way that all around the world they're going to govern their communities. If we can just go and snatch presidents and then bring them over to America and say, we're the ones who dictate what's going on in your country, knowing that if someone came and did the same thing to us, we would be outraged. So to see all of these European leaders, none of them that look like us, to say, you know, leave them alone, and if you come for them, we will band together to beat your ass, is really disheartening to me, because it tells you that they don't play fair. You know what I mean? It tells you that it is still about race, because there's no way you're going to convince me specifically and any person of color that you guys can speak up and say, hey, absolutely not, leave them alone, when we're talking about white primarily, you know, led countries. But then when it comes to people of color and descendants of Black people, African people, you know, and you guys are like silent. Y'all didn't mention anything in regards to denouncing what was done to the Venezuelan president. And here's the thing. I don't care whether he was a horrible president over there or a great one. That's none of our business. That's for the people there to decide and decipher. And, you know, even then it's like Venezuelan people who are, excuse me, I haven't had my morning water.
Oh, no.
My morning tea. Even the people who are over there who are celebrating, their ignorance of ain't nobody coming to save y'all. This was not a savior kind of tactic. This was, we want to take your minerals type of situation.
Yeah.
And knowing that history has shown us how countries end up turning out after they go in and extract what they want, oils and minerals and things of that nature. Like you can look at Iraq, you can look at Libya. Like still to this day, people talk about how much they love Obama, but I gives a fuck about Obama.
Yeah.
And it's always Obama did this, Obama did this. And then, being now, that's why history is everything, people. Being now, and I used to remember people being like, just because he's black, don't mean that he's doing stuff for black people. And they were right. They were right. He was really working to our detriment. And he was really out there. We have some type of feeling about Trump, but him and Hillary Clinton was out there fucking, they've done more bombs on people. They've killed more people. They've done more attacks on different international sovereign countries than we could ever imagine. It's like Libya. And I don't know if people know about Gaddafi, but I will share this story as confirmation that Obama don't give a fuck about black people. Gaddafi wanted to give us $1 billion. And when I say us, I mean black Americans. He went through the Nation of Islam and asked, what we need over here for us to get straight, for us to redeem all the shit that had been taken from us, all the things that had gone on with us. Now, this is also a leader where they're talking about he was a horrible leader and dictator, but all of them was straight in Libya. Beautiful land, utilizing their resources, controlling their resources. Gaddafi was trying to make sure that they came together as a continent and had one currency. And then making sure that the diaspora, anybody who was of any type of African descent, any melanated background, he wanted to make sure, especially as Black Americans, that we had what we needed. And not only did America say no, but then they went and killed this man.
Yeah.
And now look at the country. Don't take my word for it. You can do a before and after of what Gaddafi's leadership looked like. And then after America decided to do what they did, right? In the name of what? Why did y'all kill Gaddafi?
Yeah.
Other than the fact that Gaddafi was going to rise up the people on the continent and allow for us who have been disfranchised here in the States to be able to have leverage to better the legacy of our people. The mere fact that no one speaks on that, and we were so distracted with, well, it's a black man, that we don't understand that he was more detrimental to us than he was beneficial to us, is the problem that we have in our culture in the first place.
Yeah.
I see so many black people online right now talking about what's going on, and they're more just like, well, they people say that they okay with it and they know that this and this, but what's right is what's right and what's wrong is what's wrong. And I think in conversations that me and you have had throughout the week and the month, last year, just period. It's and a really great friend of mine. Shout out to Sankofa Kitchen in Dallas and my homeboy Damon.
What's going on?
Right. Because he brought up a really good situation in regards to religion, specifically like our churches as well. And I was saying, okay, if we have all of these churches, why is our community no better? If we have because the churches are a symbol of our collectivity. So if we have all these churches in every black community, we have several churches. We ain't got no banks. We ain't got no grocery stores. We ain't got no property where we actually got malls and things like that. But we got lots of churches and lots of what? Liquor stores. Now smoke stores. And even as somebody who participates in socially drinking and smoking, the mere fact that there's so many in our communities I have a problem with, because it's a plague. It's not something that's beneficial.
Yeah.
We are not using the moment that we have with each other. And this is going to piss some people off. After I make this one, I'm going to jump into how this is at home, and then we can spring into international to what's locally going on. But if we are looking at churches facilitating what we are doing with bringing our money together, shouldn't we be alarmed at where we still are as a community? Again, we don't own nothing at all. Y'all going every week to church, putting your money in and tithing, even though in the Bible, because y'all Christians, y'all be talking about the Bible and using that one reference. Y'all don't use none of the other shit. But anytime you're trying to make some shit right, or you trying to be right in a conversation, you want to reference different verses. And so I ain't going to quote it to, I wish Pastor Rob was on so we could have this here debate. But I could have sworn in the Bible that I read that Jesus was on some old, we ain't supposed to be doing none of the shit that y'all doing at these churches. I told my homie the other day, like, why would I trust going into churches all the time when I factually, someone who's raised in the church, see that they are not productive? And then secondly, I'm watching literally the churches narrate the type of poverty and broken mindset that we've continued to have. When you look into the Bible and you start to go into the churches, we're not supposed to be praising Jesus. It annoys the fuck out of me when I hear people be like, in the name of Jesus, and Jesus, and Jesus, and Jesus, when Jesus very much so said he did not want y'all praising him. He came so that you could understand, that you could go directly. He came as a prophet to make sure that y'all understood to stop going to these churches. He was going up against an empire, the Vaticans, all of these different individuals who have been known to shed more blood on behalf of Christianity than any other culture, any other religion, right? But now we took all the things that Jesus said, put it in a Bible, served it up to Black folks, because just in case y'all don't know, Black folks, we couldn't even read. We would be punished if we were reading. We did not even read until they gave us the Bible. You're not going to tell me that our oppressors gave us a good God to serve. That's just insane. So now we have a business, because isn't the church a business? Yes, absolutely. It is an incorporated business. It's a 501, which is, they say you don't want to bring in church and, God and government, pretty much, church and government. But clearly, it's church and government, because your nonprofit is owned by the government, not by any individual, right? And so when you start thinking about like some of the simple things that are going on in our community that have been perpetuated year after year after year, it gets to a point where it's like, are y'all stupid? Even down to, like I was saying the other day, talking to my brother, like, so you going, I said, it's the first of the year, first of the month too. You going to go drink some blood and eat some bodies? And he's like, what are you talking about? Ain't that what y'all do on the first?
The first Sunday?
Yeah, that's y'all thing. He's like, why you say it like that? Because that's what it is. Just because we're trying to figure out how to make it all fit. I remember asking my mom, like, you've been all different types of religions throughout your life. Why did you choose this? She's like, oh, because it's the God of my forefathers. I said, yo, the God of your forefathers was slaves. What is we talking about? So I just say that to go back into the community. Because on Christmas, when I was riding down, headed to the Waterman, because I'm a shop with my people. Y'all do what y'all want. Y'all still been going to Walmarts and Targets and all this other shit, when these are the same people who are oppressing us here and as American citizens, who are oppressing other countries. and doing things that we know don't represent the American way as far as we're concerned, as far as where we were supposed to have grown to. And we keep feeding the monster. We keep going to church and putting millions of dollars in the church. To me, why don't we, when is somebody going to wake up and say, hey, why don't we just do a community center? And at this community center, we start doing a co-op, and we have co-ops everywhere. And we have specific plans of how this money gets put back into our community. And so wherever we are and all the many places that we put our little community centers is every place that we know we're going to buy up property. We're going to implement different things that we know that local community needs. And we're going to ensure that the leadership has our people going in the right direction so that they can share it with the legacy of them, right? We're not doing any of that. Churches just come to the community, and we as Christians who are so whitewashed, because even the Christianity, shout outs to my East African people, my Eritreans, my Ethiopians, my Kenyan people, even though Kenya, y'all on some bullshit right now too. But I want to make sure that I say Merry Christmas to you guys, because it is Christmas for them today on January 7th. And so definitely in celebrating what they got going on, knowing even in when you go back to where Christianity even started, knowing that their Bible, and that is the original, is nothing like the Bible that the Europeans, the King James version that was put together, they believe. If you ask someone like other religions, they'll say that they believe Shakespeare wrote the Bible. And when you start to look at it, it does align itself with the same tone. You know what I mean? And then we had some other things going on and some other leaders and other people involved, like the Vatican, so when you start thinking about like how all of these things came together and now where we are as a people, you got to start thinking like, what are we going to really do for change? And I guess going back to our own community, the shit that's going on at the top is trickling down to the bottom. Mm-hmm. But that's how it's set up, because that's how they want it to be set up. But it's a new day and era. So we do have the opportunity to now set it up where the bottom dictates what's going on at the top. We already do this.
That would take a hero.
Or would it just take something as simple as collectivity? Let me ask this, and let me pose this to you, and then I'm going to yield my time. Mm-hmm. But we already do it, Black people. We already control. We are the 5th GDP in the world. Our economy is structured already, whether we know it or not. We're just not benefiting from it. We spend so much money that if we all stop spending, which is what these whole boycotts is supposed to be, instead of these marches and shit like that don't work, if we were focused on something simple like, no, we not gonna no more buy hair from anybody who ain't Black. No, we gonna start manufacturing our own hairs, because why, if the Asians can do it, why can't we? Mm-hmm. No, we're gonna start making sure that, again, we have our own grocery stores. We're gonna make sure that we support our farmers so that we have good produce that's going to allow for us to have healthier lives. Like, we already deal with music. Music ain't been the same since Black folks decided we not going to be pushing all of our music through corporations anymore. We're going to figure out how independently we can own our own shit, our own IP, intellectual property, right? We already lead when it comes to different styles, whether it be clothing, whether it be lingo, whether it be our hairstyles. We already lead at the bottom. We shape the whole identity of what America looks like around not even just America, around the world. We have everybody. We have Japanese now trying to make their hair thicker so they can wear afros and curly tops and cornrows. You know what I'm saying? We We got Africans, in all different countries dressing up to look like black people here in the States. So for us, we already are as they like to say, the bottom, taking care of the top with our money, with our creativity, with our efforts and what we're doing. We're some of the, most of us are business owners in a lot of rights, but all of these different things that are not contributing to us now dictating how it looks at the top and making sure that we benefit economically, mentally, physically, emotionally from our efforts. And so to me, it's just us waking up and realizing who we are. And I yield my time.
Yeah, so one thing that you touched on was we're leaders. So being that we're all individual leaders, don't nobody want to follow nobody.
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
So that's on your first thing. And then you combinate that idea with the self envy. You know, a black person will rather see anybody else succeed than another black person.
True that. I've seen that myself blatantly.
The white man's ice seems to be a little bit colder than the.
That's what they say, huh? That is what they be saying. That's what they be saying. They be saying no, I want that shit. Your shit I eat, but my shit.
Yeah, when we go to the white man and get ice, his ice seems to be a little bit colder than the ice that we get from our neighbor, you know.
And for me, even if it is a little bit colder, so what? Is the drink good? Is the drink good for you? You so worried about the ice being colder with your petty ass. Is you thinking about the fact that what you might be drinking is fucking poison? So who cares if you drink it hot or if you drink it fucking frozen cold? Who cares? It ain't good for you. Again, so I be at the place where it's like, are we as stupid as they say we are? That's where I am with black people.
And I hate to say it, but even in our ignorance, we still find a way to make the ignorance look good.
That's because they're stupid. They're stupid. They're dumber than we are. That's what they don't understand. They're not even the originators of what's going on. So that looks stupid. That they ain't making no money off of it, but shit, I guess let them do what they gonna do, and we gonna follow.
Yeah. So, I mean, you asked the question, but then you answered your question with, you asked it, then you answered it.
Like how? What? Maybe it went over my own head. Where I answered anything?
Yeah, you started off asking about the state of where we at and why we do what we do, and then
I did.
Throughout the 30 minutes after you asked the question, you answered.
Well, I guess maybe I needed to talk it through so I can figure it out for myself. Either way.
And thanks for sharing it on the network, because that's what people need to see. They need to see how they need to understand the process, And even in understanding the process, like I said, what I believe is that we are so young in the prophetic movement of what's taking place that we won't see these changes in our lifetime, but hopefully we'll be able to leave some good enough breadcrumbs for the generations that follow us to be able to build on.
I think that we have an opportunity to live it in our lifetime. I remember when my parents was like, "We're not gonna have a black president in our lifetime." I was like, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we are." So I think it's. I think for us, we are capable of doing whatever we desire. If we ever learned anything, it's been that. And then like going back to the churches and going back to just everything and bringing it home back to my homeboy at Sankofa. He was like, "We don't have no value system," because he's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what's wrong with the culture. And when the culture stops working for the people, then it's dead. And that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
We talk about the cultural things that we should be on and doing, but there's no value system. There's nothing to judge. I mean, shit, I've been talking to you about like motherfuckers not even including like what it looked like with facts being involved. We all just
Yeah.
working off nuances and just
Yeah.
working off
Yeah.
probabilities and alternative facts. We're not even working off truth
Off the
anymore.
basics. We not.
Yeah, there's
we don't
no
even
facts, there's no
we don't
truth.
even have
So
a base.
what's the balance? How are we even processing the decisions that we are making if we don't have any sustenance that is allowing for us to be able to judge? Rather, we are capable of being able to do these things on some type of, like you said, basic premise. Like
Mm-hmm.
you just out. I mean, it makes sense because we've been saying for years that, especially like when it comes to our youth, like they just out here fucking wild and just doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is no value system, especially because people think that because you go to church that sets the value system, it does not. It sets the basic societal standards of what is expected of you. And like I told my homegirl, some people do need to go to church every goddamn Sunday because you was not a good person or because you need to be reminded of the societal standards on a basic level. But think about it. The most churchiest people are the most evil people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so we're looking at now situations where we believe that because we do one thing, which is go to church, and that's why I went through the breakdown of the church and how it's not supposed to be playing this role, and how if it was supposed to be playing this role, why are we here? why are we?
Well, the role it's playing the role that it's supposed to. And like you gave the answer, it's supposed to church and government is supposed to be separated, but it's all one. They're together, and the purpose of the government is to control the people. So now the churches are controlling the people. Even though you could ask anybody that go, well, you could probably, let's just say like 70%. 70% of the people that go to church every Sunday don't even really understand the principles or the, they go like it's going to the club or
Right,
they go
right.
like they go like going to church.
It's their cheers, like they bar.
Washes off all the bad stuff that they done for the week. So now they go to church and that just automatically makes them a better person because they do attend church, and then they go out and do more fucked up shit than the people that don't go to church do. It's just a scheme, that. But then it's like, okay, the only alternative as far as for Black people, the only alternative that was set that we could actually see is the Nation of Islam, and it's like, okay, they're too strict. We still want to eat pork. We still no. It's like so it's like, okay, we
So Christian, because I need you to make sure you share what you've been sharing with me, because you've been giving me some goodies, right? I'm talking about where you are right now in this conversation needs to pivot to, like, it's because of what's easiest for them, and talk to our people about how people do not what they need to do, but what's easiest.
Yeah,
because that's what's easiest for you. Even how you did that, it's like in the religion, you're choosing to practice this religion because it's easier for you to absolve all of the things you feel like are sinful or bad.
Jesus washed my sins away.
I
don't even have to be responsible. I don't even have to do nothing but just believe that he done it for me. So this explains the mindset, right? And these are the people supposedly at the top that believe this stuff, and that that these ideas trickle down from. So that's why you have the young people like, man, fuck all that shit. Let me get this strap. Let me get this drug. No, that stuff becomes more of a reality to them than, you know, the bullshit that the country wants us to perpetuate.
Because they can't relate with it. Because I think that's the thing too.
Yeah.
See, because people don't understand, and this is not going to be popular. And I'm with the shit, so we could always argue.
We didn't start our own platform to be popular.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Yeah. That is very true, friend. Yeah. Because at this point, I mean, what's more relatable? What's really going on in the world? What's really going on in your immediate community, or some fake shit that they can't really relate to? That's why you got to get baptized. That's why you got to do things in the name of Christianity, because you got to commit. Yeah. You got to sell your soul to this whole ideology of what Christianity is. And these kids, they like, nah. And I can say that for me, even being raised in the church, I was never, my spirit never resonated with the church.
Yeah.
Outside of it being a community space for me to be able to be around other individuals and it be utilized as it should be, as a community platform to be able to help each other grow, help share information, help get resources, those type of things. Outside of that, when you start thinking about as a religious perspective, like, no, these kids know. They know that this shit don't feel right. They know that this something ain't right, because it's the same thing with me. It's not taking a whole rocket science. Why do we, if you go in white communities, you ain't going to see a gang of fucking churches. You're not going to see a gang of poverty looking type shit. You're not going to see a gang of gang members. You're not going to start seeing a gang of liquor stores. You're not. So if it's not about race and we all are making up our own thoughts of how this thing works, then how are you telling our youth that church is good for us? How is church good for us in any other way that the liquor store is not good for us? Because it is a convenience store. So it sell other things besides liquor. It sell donuts. It sell chips. It sells some ice cream. You could pick up like some little knickknacks. It depends. You might be able to get some washing powder if you need it. You know what I'm saying? Pick you up a little shaving thing. I mean, have y'all been to the convenience stores? I mean, they be having their little things. Sometimes they be having the specialty candies too, right? That you could only get at the liquor store. So I'm saying, like, that everything has that's the nuances.
The song Ice Cube and Lil Jon made that sums that up.
What is it? You know, I love music.
Go to church. If you're scared, motherfucker, go to church.
They did come up with that, and they right.
And they right.
That's a place where you go now.
That's where all the scary people go.
That you are so right. I didn't. That's what I'm saying. You're right. Because even the devil thing. Let's like, for me, yes. Is there energy that represents positive and negative? Yes. I mean, but it's necessary in our universe to have negative and positive. What I don't like is how people, instead of taking on their own decision making and taking accountability for the decisions that have been made, they want to blame it on the devil. No, the devil didn't do that. You did that, Terry. You an evil motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Devil didn't make you do nothing. Because one thing for sure is that, and we know by the story that y'all tell about the devil, is that you have freedom of choice. Because if God wanted us all to just be the same and he wanted us all to think the same, he would have created us that way. The devil got kicked out because he decided that he didn't like the way things was going. He had jealousy. He made a move that then was like, we not on that up here. If you want to be on that up here, then you gonna have to go somewhere else with that shit. Just like anybody else would have.
So that brings the beginning of your argument into realization on what's going on with the planet.
Why you say that?
Well, when you was bringing that up, I was going to go into, the spiritual aspects of, there's the spiritual, the mental, and the physical, so spiritually, if you believe in the Bible, according to the Bible, the devil was kicked out and on earth, so now who could be, what race reflects the devil more than any other race? So now when it comes to the destruction of the planet, I don't believe nobody can out devil the devil. So if you can't out devil the devil, the devil was put here for a specific purpose, and that is to
live the way he wanted to live.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be the son of the Most High, right? Just like Jesus, just like he came down and where he got kicked out, he didn't get kicked out to Mars or to Venus. He came down here to Earth. And then sent some other people and followers. And then that's why it's important for people to go beyond the story that they see in their Constantine provided Bibles, because when you start doing that, then it talks about how, gods came down from the heavens and procreated. You get what I'm saying? And it talks about these different things. We are living in the world according to, if you wanted to go by the gospel, we're living in a world that the devil orchestrated.
Exactly.
Did God create?
Why should we be expecting something different than what we're getting?
Because in this game, the creators made sure that we still had fairness. And that's why I think that be my issue with people is I'll be like, that doesn't sound fair. Well, life ain't fair. The fuck if it ain't. How do y'all get to dictate that life ain't fair when the creators made sure in this game of life that there were certain things? The just like the creators created us, they created Satan as well. So if at any point that we wanted it to, that's why I think people, you either got to humble yourself to the fact that it's bigger than you, or you got to be in this delusion of, I don't know. Somebody else.
It all goes back to the easy thing that we always talk about. It's easier to just go with the flow. It's easier to let somebody else do it for you. It's easier to not take accountability for yourself and be like, well, dang, God, like, what do you really want me to do? And God say, okay, go touch these stones. And you be like, nah, that's what the weird people do. No, what I'm saying? It's easier
but again, it's what you said.
Else do it for you.
It might be the motive that it's easier, friend, but the reality in bringing all of this full circle is the way that this thing still stands fair, the way that this thing still works is that we have freedom of choice. So whether you want to take accountability or not, the fact that if they wanted it to be a certain type of way, it would be. So to me, I feel like the Most High was like, okay, devil, you think you can do it better? Go down there and figure it out. But there are going to be some rules. You know what I mean? It's just like any parent. So, there's none of this, there's none of that. It's not going to be none of that. I'm going to set it up where you can't do that and you can't do this and you can't, you know what I mean? There's going to be some stipulations. And I think that's how, if you want to bring in the ideology of the devil, that's how that works, because the devil ain't got to be sweating me. That's why I don't be scared. Because he got all y'all that's willing to make a decision to side with him and do the shit that makes him happy. You know what I'm saying? So he don't need to be worried about us over here. He worried, he enjoying. He's sitting down with his popcorn now because you as humans have decided that you would like it to be more chaotic, more suffering, more drama, more. We decided that as humans, not the devil, because he don't have the power to be able to do that. You got more power than the devil.
You have more
in
power
this
than
situation.
him. Exactly. The God gave you power over him. But you have to use it. So if this is why I be like to my brothers, like, y'all keep faulting the white man. Like, y'all keep faulting him when he's not even doing nothing to y'all. Y'all doing it to yourself. He's just in position to capitalize off of y'all ignorance.
Sound like the devil to me.
We can't fault him for being that's just smart.
From gaining from our faults. We can't. If y'all gonna keep, why do y'all care? If you're gonna keep letting them treat you that way, and you're gonna keep perpetuating that whole situation, why shouldn't he profit from it? The fuck, somebody should.
Somebody should. And
if you say that, then when you say it like that, then people are like, "Oh my God, clutch my pearls." But it's true. But it's truth, and it's like you said though. Most people can't handle the truth.
Yeah, they can't. They can't handle the truth. And then my thing has always been, once you know, you're responsible, and that's the one thing people don't want to.
They hate it. That's why y'all hate me. Because once you know, you know. I don't care. I'm not trying to control it. I'm not going to, because I know that as a human being, I don't have that control over you. We have power over our own dominions. That means us, people, not houses, not property. When that comment is made, it means the dominion is you. This is your house because you are yet but a spirit in this meat suit who signed up for this whole game of life. So for me, people have to get back to trying to make sure that they understand themselves. And they spend so much time chasing everything else except their purpose and the understanding of self.
Yeah.
So we got so many lost people.
They don't understand themselves.
Why though?
All I gotta do is just turn on Housewife of Atlanta,
which I have never watched.
let this hour go by until it's time for me to go to sleep and go to work and repeat this cycle the next day.
Okay.
The sheeple, the sheeple that you have, they're people, but they're just sheep. They don't want it. And why they don't want it, hey, I have yet to figure that out. But you just have people that want it and people that don't want it. But it's like, okay, if you don't want it, then don't be mad at the people that want it and take charge of it. And then when you're disappointed or when you displeased on how they're doing it, you had an opportunity to do it, but you chose not to.
I think what you said is profound because it's really like that for 2026. Going back to our original conversation in the beginning is 2026. I'm not fucking around with you retarded ass people. It's a get down or lay down type situation for me. I'm not having no arguments about no stupid ass shit. I'm not trying to go and promote or sit in y'all dumbass meetings and talk about stupid ass shit that y'all ain't never gonna do. I'm not gonna apologize for being mean because I'm sick and tired of watching y'all be goofy goofs. I don't have no interest.
You're such a pleasant, nice person.
To those who was picked from the same cloth.
I hate that people associate meanness or whatever to you because you're not that.
You know what I learned? In 2026, though, you gotta be that though. Because here's the thing. The people who say that about me, you're right. I am. I own it. I am, because you say mean, I say very direct and unapologetic. I am unapologetic about how I move, what I say, and what I do. And so if you feel like that makes me mean, then I'm gonna be angry here in 2026. I'm gonna be an angry Black woman for sure. I'm gonna live every inch of it too. And you want me to be self-proclaimed? I will. Because for me, it don't matter. We've been so caught in words and so caught in drama, like you said, and entertaining each other, but there's no progress done, especially coming back home in the community. You know what I mean? Like, it's election time. And I ain't worried about election-wise with who gonna be my senator and who gonna be I don't give a fuck about none of that. Because as we can see right now, international shit, Trump around this motherfucker doing whatever he want to do with no congressional approval at all. Yeah. So clearly, that's not what's most important. What's most important is, like you were saying, starting at the bottom and making sure that we affect change at the top. And so I am proud of you for running for mayor of my beautiful city, hometown, San Bernardino, California, in this mug. And I can appreciate it because I understand that you are a man of the people and that you are going to be impactful because of what you've had to go through here.
Oh, for sure.
How you've turned your life into something that we as a community can be proud of, and how you are going to be able to showcase that to the other individuals in our community outside of all the bureaucratical, I want to be in power. It's not about power for you. It's about getting things done. It's about genuinely the people of our community. And no one can fight against that. You know, having these conversations and looking at all these different candidates that are getting ready to go and really fight and spend millions of dollars. I mean, shit. They spent millions of dollars.
Hey, they could just pour that back into the community.
Right. That's because that's not what wins races. That's not what wins a race is the millions of dollars. And I don't mean to come down on anybody, but again, you say something and then people be like, oh my goodness. Now, when I was running, everybody was like, well, where you go? What about the money? And I was like, look, I'm not going to spend over a certain amount of money. Y'all stupid. Because that's not votes is what wins this race. I'm not going out and spending millions of dollars on a local campaign. Yeah. I'm not, because I can understand if you're trying to,
for president, get senator, one of those big.
Because you got to have enough money to be able to promote yourself, right? And because I understand marketing and advertising very well, I get it, right? But here locally in the municipalities, to be spending that type of money to tell our community that you're the better suited. No, just because you got more money does not mean you're better suited for the leadership of our community. And that's why we keep getting the turnout that we're having when it comes to productivity for our communities, is because we're voting for people based on the propaganda that they've been able to send to your mailboxes or spit to you, instead of really looking at what have they really done? What is their history really shown? You know, and when we start, my perfect example is in the water board race. Now, it was somebody running the water. I won't say the name because I don't want to have to go to war with her, because she be believing that people scared of her, but she know I'm the fucking one. I do not care. And she knew that by coming at me and trying to intimidate me about running. But then when she ran her own people and spent millions of dollars running her own people right next to her, running her daughter spending millions of dollars. Her daughter lost horribly.
Yeah.
Horribly lost in her race. And got ate alive during the race. Like, you got all that money and your kid's still getting dragged in these streets, right? Like, prove to me then that no, money is not what wins that race. The facts of what old boy was spitting, who was running against her kid, was what won the race. He like, you ain't never did this before. You lying. I got proof that you lied and said that this. I got proof. And he is using facts and putting out facts to be able to really get people like me's attention, and like people who live in that community's attention on like, oh, okay, this is a power grab. You know what I'm saying? This is not about real leadership. This is, I can pay for my power position. And I was happy, no matter what race the people were. I was happy that that race went the way that it went, because it got an opportunity to prove to me and other people that you, just because you got the money don't mean that you can get out into this race and decide that you want to take a power position. Because it's not about having the power, it's what you do with it. And so we got to start looking at the people who are governing us and looking at what they've done in the past that should even allow them to believe that they could be in positions of power that help to govern what's going on in our communities. Until we start really taking a real look at the people and the candidates, we're going to continue to feel like our vote doesn't matter. We're going to continue to see the progress that's being made, which is in the 10 years that I've been back home, none.
Yeah.
There's been no progress, man. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's fight. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Let's fight about it. I'm straight. You disagree? Let's fight. Because I can prove to you, because you know me well enough, I'm in the background of a lot of shit, but I am everybody's circle in the 10 years. And work with everybody who is somebody somehow, some way. And whether they like me or not, they gonna tell you I did my part. I did my job. The only thing that people dislike about Che is that I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to speak my piece, and I'm going to share that I don't think it's right. And just because I don't think it's right does not mean that now I'm going to go against you. Does not mean that now I'm going to demean you or do any of that. Well, it didn't mean, because now it does. I'm coming for you. If you're not doing right in the community, and you ain't never going to see it coming, because I've had lots of time to sit on watching and then plotting, if I'm honest, and I'm an excellent executor. So right now I'm just waiting on what they say, space and opportunity. That's what I'm waiting on.
You got a space and opportunity.
That's all we need. That's what they used to. That's what the get down used to be. And what you need, my dude, it's nothing but space and opportunity out here. They show right. And then because I know that I serve great creators, because my life, in the history of my life, rather, again, family, friends, foes, it don't matter. Proven who I am in the story. So come for me, because my ancestors, my creators, they got my back. And so I have no fear. I'm a chick who has no fear at all. I will die doing this. And that's what it takes in leadership. Are you willing to be the catalyst to create change?
Willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to make?
I'm willing to sacrifice. I already did it thus far in dealing with y'all's goofy ass people. So now that I've had the experience, now that I see who people are, now it's like, well, are you going? Oh, you think they goofy too? Are you gonna do something about it? Well, no, because or okay, well, they goofy. You gonna do something about it? Oh no, you not either. So I didn't wait 10 years for somebody to stop this trauma that's continuing to happen, that's now turning into generational trauma. And no one is willing to do the work. So fuck it. I will. Didn't you share a story with me the other day? Somebody got a position just because they was the only one who applied? I will. Because if none of y'all gonna raise your hand, teacher, put me in. I'll do it. Put me in. And I know that I'm capable of getting the job done the way the whole deserves, because there's not a lot of people built like us, where it's not about selfish endeavors, that it is about the whole and how they're going to be prosperous, how they're going to be progressive, how they're going to be able to live their lives in their God-given purposes. But don't nobody give a fuck about that no more, especially when it comes to our youth. It's like, well, go to college, get a good job. That's it. And if you can't go to college and get a good job, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, so now we already are damning to hell the next generation, which means that we're never going to be able to revitalize our culture. Never. If we're not helping the youth understand what their position is, I'm straight. It's a get down or lay down in 2026. Because I'm with Trump on this. Yes, I said it, and I did. I am on some gangster shit. And if anything, what we can say is a motherfucker who says, I don't give a fuck what Congress approval says. I'm about to go in, steal a whole nother fucking president, bring this nigga back. That's some old mafia type shit. Nigga, what you talking about? And then I'm going to prosecute him here. And the same things, because again, y'all should do some homework on what's going on with Venezuela. Trump pardoned somebody else from Venezuela, somebody else's leadership that had the same type of shit against him. And so all I'm saying is Trump ain't even fronting on, hey, yeah, we're going over there because we just want to create a better democracy. Trump like, we about to go over there and the homies is going to get all their oil and we going to make more billions on top of billions. Oh, but then he also announced the next day, oh, any of you Democratic states, yeah, we not sending y'all no child care. We not trying to fuck around with y'all on doing any of this healthcare shit. He's still trying to, because he like, what is you gonna do? And for me, I'm thinking, what is you Democrats gonna do? Because I see y'all with y'all clown looking asses on January 6th doing this fucking, did you see that shit? It's the Democrats, you guys is fucking embarrassing. These niggas gonna do a sing-along on the steps to represent the whole insurrection. Like, bitch, we gonna sing a song? We kumbaya? If y'all don't get out this Martin Luther King and get you some motherfucking Malcolm X in this bitch, we is losing our democracy. And y'all is just like, well, you know what? Who came up with that shit? Who said to celebrate January 6th, we're gonna all, as Democratic leaders, we're gonna all go to those steps. We're gonna all hold hands and sing. Bitch, this is not 1965. If you don't sit the fuck down somewhere, because that's how all of us felt. I mean, I ain't never seen so many comments that's like, nigga, there went our freedom. Because if that's what y'all are thinking that we need to be doing on January 6th, that instead of being like, hey, we never got no real resolution, we finna be doing some policies and some legislations that then make sure that ain't no shit ever go down like this on our American. You don't do none of that. Y'all went to the steps to sing? What? This is the same thing we do in our community during Martin Luther King's birthday. We have our little showing of everybody, and then we go and we walk around the statue and we sing "We Shall Overcome." And then we all go fucking home. And then that's pretty much what happened on January 6th. So when you start thinking about where we are, all of the comments was like, it don't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat. Neither one of y'all is speaking for us right now. And they're not. At this point, we need to really start focusing on local politics. We need to really start focusing on what it really looks like for the people who are in our surrounding home communities. Because if we get together and we really start to make the subtle changes at home, that is going to be what helps for us to collectively make a huge impact. But until we understand that, friend, we're going to be stuck in this whole trifling ass game of Republicans versus Democrats. And Trump is doing this and he's so horrible. Is he really? Because if y'all was getting a piece of that oil, if he said, this is the crazy part about America. If he said, yeah, and I'm gonna make sure that all of y'all get a check in the mail for $100,000 because we stealing their oil over there in Venezuela, all of y'all gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
All of y'all.
But
Now
it's send me my 100,000.
Vote Trump.
What he doing?
Vote Trump. Y'all the hardest of the hardest Democrats is gonna be like, I'm mega now. Let that motherfucker get that. That's all it would take is Trump to go be like, yep, y'all finna get them checks. Whole different ball game. Because we don't stand for nothing. We don't have no value system. So it's not about the fact that you broke foreign law. It's not about the fact that you didn't follow the rules here. It's not about any of that. And if it's not about that for them, because the people who should be the most offended and that I should see going off and having, all of these debates and arguments is not us. It should be those political people who are already in position, our senators, our governors, you know what I mean? These people who they should be the ones really making these decisions and really sitting down with individuals who represent our community to make sure that this is not happening. But this is how you know they're in cahoots, because nobody's saying, the Democrats ain't saying nothing. Y'all ain't saying nothing to this man. All right. Like I said, I'm finna be, if that's how Trump, I'm finna be the same way. It's a get out of here. I'm finna be on some gangster shit. So y'all do whatever y'all want to do. And for me, I can say that because it's just like with Trump. He got all these people in all the places that he need them. Me too. Yeah. And the great part about me is that people don't know who fuck with me and who don't. Yeah. They have no idea. You know what I mean? So I'm on my gangster shit this year, friend, for sure. And I am looking forward to what people have to say about it. I ain't gonna lie. This time I'm gonna do it with a smile on my face and not be so, I don't understand why you guys are receiving me in that way. I already tried to be nice to these people. I already tried that with y'all. I tried to come. I tried to be, this person who was, diplomatic. I tried all that. And you seen, Talon, that shit did not work. I'm still this person. She's so difficult. And I'm difficult. How I'm difficult? I'm the one doing the work. How Shay difficult? The fuck? How crazy it is the person who's getting the shit done. You're going to be like, she difficult. But then we've also heard somebody going to have to control that Shay. Somebody going to have to, yeah, she good at what she do, but somebody going to have to control her. Ain't nobody controlling Trump. So don't come over here trying to fucking control Shay. All right? Until y'all do something about that man and what he got going on, especially since y'all saying he breaking all the rules, not us. If he breaking all these rules and y'all not doing nothing about it, here in my community, I'm finna be working the same motherfucking way. Because if it's working for the top, it must be something that we can utilize at the bottom.
It gotta work for the bottom.
That's all I got to say about that. That's how I could end that conversation and be my final word. 2026 is no time for the goof troops. If you know you goofy and if you watch this and you know that you feel some type of way about me, and you know that most definitely I feel some type of way about you, know that no money, none of that is going to stop my fucking wrath from hitting your doorstep. And I'm looking forward to it because you're never going to see it coming because you don't know who I've considered as a priority or not. All you can do is just wait. And how I come at you is going to be creative because I'm so happy to be in this space. So I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. I'm going to do it with pride for my community. I'm going to do it with a reference and paying homage to my ancestors. And I'm going to make sure that my youth know that they don't have to just stand by and watch the demise of their communities and their culture. They can step up with no fear and do what they want to do. Because if Trump ain't taught us nothing else, that's what he's taught us. And I'm thankful, President Donald Trump. I'm thankful for your leadership because you at least are showing us what's necessary to have to get shit done. And and if you feel any type of way about what I'm saying, I don't give a fuck. Go holler at your mama about that shit. I don't give a fuck. Don't tell me because I don't.
Yeah, and that's when we was talking. See, we done unpacked so much stuff in this one conversation. But I was gonna get back to us, those of us that's raising our children to to be sheep, you know, because it's safe that way, you know. It's safe
It's an
to raise.
illusion of being safe.
It's an illusion of being safe as far as, like I said in the beginning of the conversation. I don't believe any one of these countries, no matter how bad America is to the world, is going to come over here and do something to the people over here. So you either have that route of teaching the youth, the traditional sheeple stuff, or you have the other youth that's, like I said, that don't want to be a part of that shit at all. Know what I'm saying? And it's like, to me, that's our best chance is to get a hold to those youth and educate those youth and teach those youth that they don't have to, not that you have to be lawless, but you have the ability to create your own reality. It doesn't have to be, oh, go to college for 4 years and get a job and that's it. Those those people that's raised like that really don't want to make a change. But for those that do want to make a change, they don't have an avenue. They're the kids that's in the gangs, or they're the ones that we consider the delinquents and different things of that nature. And the society has prisons and jails and stuff set up for them. So it's just such a crazy dynamic, because you're either raising the child to be productive or you're raising the child to be non-productive. So I believe any parent would want their child to want to raise a child to be productive, but even in that production, it's still teaching them how to be a slave and maintain that slave mentality and keep perpetuating the stuff that's been going on. But now these other groups of young people, if we could grab a hold of them and instead of selling dope, we teach them how to sell advertising ads. We just give them something different because it all comes down to the money. They just want to be fly, get a car, gain independence. Know what I'm saying? We just give them another way to build their economy. Then I think we'll be all right. I think that's gonna set everything in motion. Like the rappers, right? The rappers the young people that get into the music industry, that drop out of school, it's like the only thing with them is they get too caught up in the sex and the drugs. They get too caught up in the partying and the getting high, to where, they learn to obtain the resources as far as financially, but then, without having the mindset of what to do with those finances, it's like, it's pointless.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. It is. I mean,
we gotta keep trying. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing beats a failure but a try. But yeah, that's what I see. I just see we gotta like they say, somebody gotta control shit. We just gotta kind of like try to control the rebellious youth, the youth that wants to rebel against the system. We just gotta grab them and just steer them in the right direction.
We got to give them options and opportunities.
Yeah, that's the better way of saying it. Options and opportunities.
Yeah.
Giving them options and opportunities, because they already have the heart that the other ones don't have. The other ones are just gonna listen to their parents and replicate what they seen their parents do, and just just become part of the system. The ones that's going to change the system is the ones that's already rebelling against it. They
think that
have the option or the opportunity to be successful without doing something illegal.
I think that's the part that needs to really be told, is how to monetize. See, because what the man does, the white man does, as they always want to complain, is he looks at situations and he monetizes it. He don't care if it's a house, if it's a kid, if it's if it's a product. He don't care. He gonna look at it and he's gonna figure out how to monetize it. And I think we need to be figuring out how to look at situations and be figuring out how to monetize it, because there's nothing wrong with making money. Somebody gonna make money out of this situation. And these kids now, either you gonna get it for them or they gonna figure out how to get it themselves. And being someone who's been an entrepreneur, a business owner since 15, I can with confidence tell you that it does become something that has to be taught and cultivated young. It is going to take us making sure that we get those who are different, who do have the hearts, who are leaders, to be able to engage with the opportunities and the options that we give, so that they can be secure in knowing that they can take care of themselves and their families. If you're trying to tell a kid, don't do this and don't do that, and they don't have any security or any avenue of getting things done any other way, then they gonna do what they need to do. That's just that's a human survival type of mechanism. You know what I mean? So I completely agree with you. Right now, it's the biggest thing is the youth. And then even when you start thinking about what's going on the continent and in other areas around the world, the youth and their activeness has not been seen since the 60s. And how they're coming and they're doing coups and they're taking over governments and they're banding together to make shit happen and create the change that they want to see for themselves and for their families. The only way that we can have that certain type of movement is if we give our youth the space and the understanding to know how and why they're doing what they're doing, right? The rest, let them dictate and control what that looks like for them. How dare we try to control that? What we do is we give them the tools to be able to navigate it properly, but control is not the way. Give them what they need to be able to live in whatever, like you said, reality they want to create for themselves. But don't knock them because they don't have no other way of getting it, and you not willing to share the information. There's so many goddamn gatekeepers. Oh, there's so many gatekeepers. There's so many of this pessimistic people who are all in our kids' face and leaders and of our kids and are not really thinking about the long-term well-being of these kids. It's just, oh, I'm in this. I sit on the board. And I just love kids, but bitch, then have some kids and go to homeschool. Don't sit on a whole city board and then not want to do the real work that's going to take to create the change and create the sustainability for our youth. Because right now, there is no sustainability at all, especially for Black youth. And that's not the white man's problem. That's not the Mex. I see so many people who got shit to say about Mexicans. You already know how I feel. You can't say shit to Che about the Mexicans. You can't say shit to me about any of the immigrants because they work harder than us. They are willing to do the shit that we not willing to do. And they gonna make sure that their money goes to them and their families. We don't understand that principle. As Black people, we spend and we buy and we don't make sure any of that impacts our communities. We go out and we vote and we have these kiki type of friendships that are shallow, that don't really produce any type of real leadership that's going to help to make sure that the next generation knows what it looks like. We don't do none of that. We just want to be important for each other, want to make our money, no matter how we make our money. There's no type of rules. It's like, oh, no, you gonna give me this money? I'll sell my soul. But again, thing of what does it matter if you gain all of the riches but lose your soul?
Lose your soul, exactly.
But when people don't understand who they are and they don't understand that the soul is the main important detail in the story, it's the only thing that leaves and continues, because we know that energy is never destroyed but only transferred.
Only transferred. Amen.
And transform. So if you know that, then you know that you go on to do whatever you're supposed to do. Your seed, the essence of you goes on when you having kids, when you procreate, when you doing these different things, it goes on when you're taking time to mentor these other individuals and change their lives, change their perspectives. You get what I mean? That's how it goes on. But us just being stagnant and being like, and spending our money wherever we spend our money without no real thought about how it long-term benefits us and our families, them days is over.
Yeah, it only benefits them.
It's the most selfish thing. It's like all of these different leaders who come, especially the Black leaders. The saddest thing in the Inland Empire for me is that for the Black leaders that I have seen be in position have been more detrimental than good for us.
Yeah.
In the long-term scheme of things.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't been impactful enough for us to see their changes. A lot of them want to say, I need 2 terms. Why? We just, shout outs to the Maryland mayor. We just seen you can have 1 term and change a whole dynamic. This man then figured out how to decrease gun violent crimes, period, by 50% in his first year. And he's the youngest mayor. Boy, barely in his 30s, barely hit his 30s, if he in his 30s, and he's already producing the change that's necessary to transform lives.
Amen.
So it's no longer about the talking. It's no longer about the hopeful wishing. People's lives are at stake. And someone has to stand up and say, enough is enough. Let me put my name in the hat and do the work.
Amen to that. So final comments, friend. Final comment.
My final comment is 2026. Get down with what we doing or lay down.
Okay.
Because there is no in between anymore. You either are on the right side of history or you not. You either going to do what's in the best interest of our community or you not. You either going to be a leader that's going to help to create impactful change or you not. And you have that God-given right to choose whatever it is that you want to choose. But know that there's opposition on both sides. Rather you doing right and you got to face the people who want to do wrong. Rather you doing wrong, you want to face the people who's doing right. We have to start calling out who's who so that we are not infiltrated, and our mission of creating this wealth in our community, creating this understanding in our communities, this collectiveness in our community. We have to start looking at who these people are so that we can move accordingly with change that we know is going to stand against time. You know what I'm saying? That right now, we are all just blurred, especially when it comes to Black people in our community. I'm no longer like that. If I don't fuck with you now, at least before, it would just be the little circles who knew I didn't fuck with you. Yeah. And definitely, I don't fuck with you. But now I am going to tell the community who's who. Because being respectful, my quotation fingers, not sharing our business as Black people and all that other shit and keeping it within our community has done nothing but hurt our community. Now, if you know a nigga ain't no good and an ignorant motherfucker is what a nigga a nigga is without a nigger, because y'all all want to go over these words. But if you are subscribing to coonery, you are a nigger. Period. Don't be mad when somebody call you that. If you are working to solely benefit yourself and you don't want to do the work, that's some ignorant shit. So you is a nigga. And I'm gonna call you one as such. Yeah. I'm just being honest, friend. Like at this point, it is about identifying who's who so that we all can work accordingly to what is going to be beneficial and productive for the next societal standards that we know are going to help to uplift our people. Start at home first. I'm not worried about what the Mexicans doing. I ain't worried about what motherfucking white people doing, the Asian. I ain't worried about none of that right fucking now. I'm worried about who we are, because so much is changing in our society already without us even really playing a part in it. Yeah. That we are going to get left behind on every level if we do not wake up and start to see how we can get involved and get engaged with this change that must happen. And it don't have to be storming motherfucking capitals. It can be very subtle. It can be very much so organized and structured so that we can do it in a comfortable way. But to not do nothing at all and to just sit back and watch people take advantage and not do what's in the best interest of our community as a whole, I'm no longer sitting back, because that means that I'm okay with it. And if you're okay with allowing for our community and allowing for the race of our people in our community to suffer, then fucking shame on you. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not going to give up the fight that I know is necessary for our babies to be able to at least be given a platform to run so that they can further what our ancestors gave up and sacrificed on our behalf. The mere fact that us as Black Americans had our grandparents' wildest dreams. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Hell, we're other communities that look like us around the African diaspora's wildest dreams. But we don't even fucking understand what we're dealing with. We don't even take appreciation or power and authority over what we are and what we have to give. We got to start making sure that we are focusing on us and what is in the best interest of us. If you are not trying to do that, then those who know that we deserve better, you got to be willing to fucking fight in 2026, because it is going to be an extreme change of energy, of leadership, of business dealings, of wealth. And we're not going to be prepared for it. Y'all don't know what y'all going to do if they start cutting off shit and y'all don't know how to eat, because y'all don't know how to feed yourselves. We're not doing anything in our communities to make sure that we have things in place to feed ourselves. We have to start thinking about going back to the basics and figuring out what it looked like for us before we decided that we wanted to integrate into a society that never was made for us to integrate with.
Exactly. And on that note, a line definitely has to be drawn in the sand. And y'all might not want to know, but or want to pay attention, but as far as African Americans or whatever we choose to call ourselves or they choose to call us, you know, we are the minority in America. And those other races that are the minorities, such as like the Hawaii, like the Filipinos, the Asians, you know, those ones, they want to be white. And the white people do accept them. We see that in our own community. You know, you'll see an Asian and a Mexican and an Asian will own a donut shop and hire the Mexicans before they hire somebody Black. So you see that in our own community, that the other races accept the other races faster than they accept us. They only let us have barbershops and work in the hair stores. So it's a line being drawn in the sand, and you're gonna have to decide which side you're gonna be on. And the side that I'm standing on gotta be black and strong. Can't be no weakness in it. And the only way we're gonna eliminate those weaknesses is, you know, doing what the Haitians did to survive there. We gotta take a page out the Haitian book, you know, and understand how they gained their
Haitians for sure.
You know, so that being said, you know, let's level up. Let's get our spirits right, get our minds right, and get our bodies right, because it is a war. Daily, it's a war. All right, friend. You coming on tonight at 10?
You know, we got to get this thing back on track with being the boys. And so, you know, tonight, y'all check us out where we have a little more intimate conversation, you know, about what's going on.
We ain't talked about that personal. We ain't talked about that personal.
We get to have a little more intimate conversation, a little softer. Right? It's like, what was that back in the day? Like when at night it would be the quiet storm. Yeah. It's gonna be more like the quiet storm when we talk about
on BT they had Midnight Love or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be more of those type of conversations where we can start talking about what's going on in personal type of sides of a relationship, what we think of each other as men and women, and some of those different things, different conversation, different type of energy. And so please join us at 10 with Talon.
Talon at 10. We'll see y'all once again. Peace out.
Southern Boy Certified.
I don't really understand why they do this to me. Saturday Roman, don't say nothing at all. 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 I'm hearing whispers on the street about some things that I really can't believe. People talking, spreading lies over me. I don't know why they coming for me. They say I did things that I never done. No. They say that I'm guilty, but I'm not confined. No.
Liar, liar, liar. Pants on fire. Be fibbing. I heard rumors around town. People talking and spreading lies. Can't trust nobody who don't have a purpose.